Breaking news! With the 20th pick in the first round of our latest mock draft on Monday, the Denver Broncos made a move that may seem surprising to some, but makes perfect sense when you look at the logic behind it, selecting Ohio State running back Treyveon Henderson. Now, before anyone jumps to the comments section, let's explain why this wasn't just a risky gamble, it was a calculated move. Before you go any further, make sure you've hit the like button if you believe the Broncos will make the playoffs next season. I'll go further, I believe the Broncos have Super Bowl potential. If possible, comment something like, "Go Broncos! You can do it!" Now let's talk about Treyveon Henderson. This pick revolves around one key idea. Do not overthink the opportunity to add a complete, high-upside player who checks every major box you want from a modern NFL running back. Treyveon Henderson isn't just any back. This is a guy who played in high-stakes games for Ohio State as a true freshman at 18 years old. He's been in the spotlight, and he's performed. We're talking about a player with speed, explosiveness, vision, agility, and one underrated but vital trait, elite ball security. How elite? Over 667 touches at Ohio State. Henderson fumbled just once, and that was back in his freshman year. That kind of consistency is hard to find. Physically, he's listed at about 5 feet 11 inches and 208 pounds, offering a balanced frame that's agile enough to make defenders miss in space but sturdy enough to pass protect, a trait that is often overlooked when grading running backs. And here's the thing, he's not just a runner. Henderson is among the top pass-protecting backs in this class and can catch passes out of the backfield, giving you a 3-down weapon from day one. This isn't just filling a need. This is about adding true value to Sean Payton's offensive scheme, a scheme that thrives with multifaceted backs who can protect the QB, catch out of the backfield, and explode between the tackles. Now, a lot of fans might think, well, we could have waited. Maybe he's there at 51. That's a dangerous game. Remember what happened last year with players like Bo Nix. People thought the Broncos could wait, and then suddenly, the buzz around him picked up, and that second-round dream turned into a first-round reality. The same trajectory is happening with Henderson. NFL insiders and analysts like Daniel Jeremiah and Bucky Brooks have already flagged Henderson as a rising stock, with talk that teams like the Chicago Bears might even consider taking him as early as pick 10. And here's the truth about the Broncos front office. They don't care about media mock drafts or public consensus on where a guy is supposed to go. They're not operating off Twitter big boards. If Sean Payton believes Henderson can be his Alvin Kamara 2.0, he's going to go get him, regardless of where people project him to land. Another thing to consider is how Henderson's style fits Denver's offensive identity moving forward. Payton has repeatedly emphasized the need for a joker role on offense, a versatile, dynamic playmaker who keeps defenses guessing. Treyveon fits that mold. He averaged 7.1 yards per carry last season and can line up in various formations, creating mismatches and keeping opposing defenses honest. The Broncos haven't had that kind of threat in the backfield in years. Then you factor in the competition in the AFC West. The Las Vegas Raiders are reportedly eyeing running backs hard in this draft. There's even speculation they could double dip with Ashton Jeanty and another back early on, trying to solidify a run-heavy identity under Pete Carroll. That kind of move would increase the pressure on Denver to respond with their own dynamic weapon. Passing on Henderson and hoping he slips to 51 could have been a major miscalculation. And listen, it's not like Denver doesn't have other backs on the roster, but nobody currently in the room offers the upside, reliability, or explosiveness that Henderson brings. He's not just a safe pick, he's a potential game changer. This pick isn't about filling a temporary void. It's about reshaping the identity of the offense and giving Bo Nix or whoever is under center a reliable outlet who can help extend drives, flip field position, and break games wide open. So while some might have expected a wide receiver or maybe a lineman here, the Broncos front office made a statement. We're not drafting for optics, we're drafting for impact. Treyveon Henderson is the kind of player who doesn't just fit into your offense, he elevates it. But I want to know what you think. Broncos country. Was this the right move at 20? Would you have taken Henderson or waited to see if he dropped? Drop your thoughts below. I'll be reading through the comments and responding. This is your team, your voice, so let's hear it. And if you're still unsure about just how crucial this selection is, let's talk about what came next. Because this draft strategy wasn't a one-off roll of the dice, it was part of a cohesive plan. With their second-round pick, the Broncos added another offensive weapon in Jaquan Higgins, the wide receiver out of Iowa State. Now, this move is more than just about stacking talent. This is strategic insurance, and it's aimed directly at shoring up a position that still feels unsettled. Jaquan Higgins is 6 feet 4 inches, 215 pounds, and one of the most impressive athletic testers at the combine. He's not just a big body, he moves fluidly, has strong hands, and he's shown the ability to win one-on-one matchups consistently. He's the kind of receiver who gives you size on the outside and becomes a true red zone zone threat. The Broncos need that, with Courtland Sutton locked in as the veteran leader and Marvin Mims Jr. providing the speed threat. Adding someone like Higgins gives Denver another reliable target who can attack the boundaries, go over the middle, and create separation through body control and physicality. And this isn't just about filling a depth chart spot. Higgins is already generating a lot of buzz, with some analysts even suggesting he could sneak into the back end of the first round. Steve Smith Sr., a guy who doesn't throw around praise lightly, ranks Higgins higher than more widely known names like Teteroa McMillan. That says something. When a former All-Pro wide receiver says a guy's the real deal, it carries weight. Let's also look at how Higgins fits into Sean Payton's offensive philosophy. Payton has always valued size at the wide receiver position. Mims might be the outlier, but the general theme in his offenses has been physical receivers who can outmuscle defenders and win in contested catch situations. Think Michael Thomas in New Orleans. Higgins could be that kind of player for Denver. He doesn't need to step in and be WR1 on day one, but the upside is huge. And we can't talk about the wide receiver room without addressing the Courtland Sutton situation. From what we know, Sutton's in a good place with the team. He's made it clear he wants to finish his career in Denver, and recent contract discussions suggest both sides are working toward that goal. But having someone like Higgins in the fold gives the Broncos leverage, insurance, and a potential long-term plan at the position. If things change in the future with Sutton, the team won't be scrambling. And if everything stays steady, you've just paired him with another big-body threat that defenses will have to account for. The Broncos aren't handing anything out this year. Competition is the name of the game, and Higgins brings that. He's going to push guys like Brandon Johnson and even Devon Vele for snaps. And that's exactly what you want in training camp. Battles at every position, iron sharpening iron. Because when you start the season, you want the best players on the field, not just the most familiar names. Now, on to the third round, because the Broncos kept the offensive momentum rolling. With pick number 76, they reunited Bo Nix with one of his most trusted college targets, tight end Terrence Ferguson out of Oregon. This pick is all about continuity and chemistry. Ferguson and Nix have years of experience working together. In 2023, Ferguson hauled in 42 catches for 414 yards and 6 touchdowns. He's a classic West Coast offense tight end, tough, versatile, and dependable. At 6 feet 5 inches, 247 pounds, Ferguson brings size and sneaky athleticism. He's not going to be your downfield burner, but he's more than capable of working the seams, boxing out defenders, and being a reliable outlet in high-pressure situations. He also showed out at the Senior Bowl, proving he can compete with the best in his class. What makes this pick even more interesting is how it pairs with the addition of Evan Engram. With Engram acting as the move tight end or joker, Ferguson can be the complementary piece, solid inline, a willing blocker, and a dependable target in the red zone. So, Broncos country, that's your 4-round mock. Treyveon Henderson, Jaquan Higgins, Terrence Ferguson, and Malachi Moore. For players who fit the mold, fill Real needs, and bring immediate value and future potential. The draft is just 2 weeks away, and this kind of blueprint shows that Denver is thinking long-term without sacrificing short-term impact. Now it's your turn. What do you think of this draft class? Who's your favorite pick? Would you have gone in a different direction? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear from you. This is your team, and your voice matters.